everybody, this is Dreaming Crow coming back and doing another video for you. Before we jump into the video today, I just want to go ahead and thank everybody who is a subscriber to my channel. Thank you for subscribing and being a part of my channel and making it the success that it has been up to this point. And by all means, share my channel if you know somebody who might be able to benefit, or someone who might enjoy the channel. By all means, please share with them. And if you do like this video or any other video, please hit that like button down below. Leave me some comments. Let me know if there's anything I might be able to answer for you or do a video on. I do have a good list of videos that I want to be able to get done over the next couple weeks. A couple of them are just personal rituals that I'm going to be filming for this channel and the process as well. Hang in there. I've had a couple people ask me to do reviews on a couple of other books as well. I have them ready. It's just, I'm trying to take everything one step at a time right now. So just hang in there. Everything's coming when it's time, when it's appropriate. We'll just say that. Today I'm kind of being a little ad lib. I am in my temple area, which is my bedroom. I live in a one-bedroom apartment in the city where I'm at, and it's Saturday, February 8th, and it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I slept in a little bit today, being it's one of my days off for the week. And here before you do see my basic altar setup. This is something I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit today. My basic altar setup, what I've done, how I've gotten to be where I am. I know I did an introduction video back in October. But I kind of want to talk a little bit more about my practices up to this point, some things that I do in my practices, how do I go about working with new spirits, demons, entities, things of that nature, and hopefully that'll kind of give you a little bit of background on myself and might generate some ideas for yourself. If you're new to the practice, or you're looking to just kind of get a feel, or you're looking to change something, or you want some new fresh ideas, maybe this will help you out. I don't know. So with that, I do have the door to the kitchen there open, just a little bit more light into the room here. This room hasn't always been like this. It was very sparse when I first moved in, and I did add a few things. The bookshelf over here in the corner, that's going to be going away here in a couple weeks. I do have a larger, more sturdy bookshelf coming in. That's actually going to be able to support the weight of my books. That's not all of my books there. But I am going to have a larger bookshelf, and it's going to be a little bit different. That actual unit is going to go away into the living room. I have a number of interests in my life. I'm 47 years old. I'm still pretty single. And that's because I've chosen that up to this point. Some of the rituals I will be doing in the coming weeks and maybe month or two, I'll be doing a soulmate attraction ritual, which I will be filming on for that. I'm kind of at that point in my life that I'm kind of wanting a little bit more companionship. Never did a lot of love rituals or soulmate rituals or attraction rituals or anything like that. So that's going to be kind of new for me. Too. So we'll see what kind of happens there, But that's going to be going away. One of my other interests in life is I've been really big on anime, and I've been a bit of a nerd most of my life. I was those kids that played Dungeons and Dragons, and watched uh, Japanese anime, things like Gundam and um, a lot of other Japanese anime. I can't even begin to name all of them. Sword Art Online and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I started watching Japanese anime when I was about 13 years old. There was a comic book shop in the town that I lived in, and they would always get these boxes of videos. They had people that actually lived in Japan at the time, and this was like way back, like in the 80s, when the only time that you could get like Japanese anime was to go like straight to the source, and people would actually film like the Japanese anime shows at the time, and send them on VHS, and then they would like rent them out for like $1 or $2 for like 3 or 4 days, and that's how we got into introduced into anime when I was younger. I also do enjoy cooking and a couple of other things. I'm kind of looking into maybe doing a second YouTube channel. I got a few ideas, again, because it's my personal interest. I do assemble gunpla models. For those of you who don't know what gunpla is, it's just an acronym for Gundam Plastic Model, and there's a lot of different grades in the line. Gundam, again, is an anime series. It's been around for about 40 years, widely successful. And I'm actually thinking about taking that and making it into like a channel, in addition to this one that I do here. So little things like that are just going to be kind of changing about in my life, and we'll see how everything turns out if I decide to do something like that. So, in case if you're wondering what this is my pineapple juice. Not really pineapple juice. I have a Nutri Ninja, and it's one of my things that I do to start off my day. I put some frozen pineapple in there with some purified water. I have a water purifier on my tap, and then I usually I might add like a multivitamin supplement to it. That's why it looks a little bit green. It's got the antioxidants and the alkalizing green vegetables and stuff in there. So that's kind of how I start my day off a little bit. So I'm just kind of enjoying that. Regarding my altar here, and I'm going to kind of focus. I'm going to grab my camera and focus in a little bit more on that. So this is going to get kind of wobbly. In case if you're wondering, this is actually these are actually two end tables that have been set up, and you can see here, like in the corners, I took some L brackets, and these are just end tables that I bought at a Walmart about maybe a month ago or whatever. I think they were like $15 a piece, and then I bought some L brackets for about $2 or $3 and just set them up. I assembled the two, and then I stacked them on top of each other, and this is my altar setup now. There was a time that I actually was using this right here, this stand unit here that has like a bunch of my junk on it. I just had the top unit taken off, and there was a time that I mainly did like a lot of sigil magic. I didn't need like anything elaborate or anything like that. So that was actually just something I put my sigils on, and then I did my work. And now that's actually like my little storage unit. But this is my main altar setup at the time. Currently, I am working with Lucifer quite a bit. I'm in the middle doing the Rites of Lucifer by Asenath Mason, and so you can kind of see that. Try to put this back here. This is not the setup that she recommends in the book. This is my own kind of setup. You'll find that if you're practicing Luciferianism is really just, I mean, it's God's principles and all that, but the way I practice Luciferianism and the way another Luciferian practices are going to be, there are going to be similarities in it, but there's going to be differences as well. How I practice it is personal. It's a reflection of me. How another Luciferian practices it is going to be a reflection of them. What I do and what I do doesn't affect another Luciferian because it's me on my own spiritual journey, looking to grow and develop myself and for my own personal ascension. So this is just something that I have. Again, my altar or my end tables that I put together, these are both, they stand at 17.5 inches high, and then this is a 20 by 20 here. And again, when you stack it, this is about 36 inches tall, which is about the perfect height for me. I like an altar that actually stands a little bit higher so that I can actually kind of hold on to it if I have to, or if I have to lean on it. I don't like anything that sits too low. The table over there in the back, the 4-foot folding table. Sometimes that's where I put my laptop and other things when I'm filming here in the temple area. That's going to be there for a little bit longer as well. But again, back to the altar, I just have my I have a bowl here that I purchased again for a couple dollars at the market, and I put some sand in there, and that's basically my incense burner. And then I have a gold candle here. Again, I was doing the light bearer ritual, and this is kind of my basic setup that I do regularly every morning. After I get out of the shower, the next thing that I do before I do anything else, before I get breakfast, before I even get dressed for work or anything like that, I come in here. I light my candle to Lucifer, and then I light the incense. Right now I'm burning sandalwood incense there. Ring my bell, and then I will basically take a diabetic lancet, pricked in my finger or side of my hand, whatever. Basically just draw a little bit of blood, a drop or two, 3 drops maybe at the most, and then I anoint the sigil here. This is basically just a circle of wood, a piece of craft wood. You could get this at any place like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart. They're like $1, maybe $2 at the most. And then all I did was I drew the sigil of Lucifer on there in a light colored pencil, and then I took a red Sharpie, drew over that, erased the pencil marks, and this pretty much sits on my altar top 24/7. Obviously, the more I use that and the more I anoint it with my blood on a daily basis, the stronger this becomes. I like having that, keeping that on my altar top. And again, this is just my daily devotion to Lucifer that I do every day. And then usually after I've done that, I'm usually pronouncing the N for Lucifer. I'll repeat the N. and just do my own personal prayer there. Usually, 10 minutes at the most. You know, just however you want to do it. I mean, everybody, you know, Christians talk to God, Luciferians talk to Lucifer. However you want to do it. Just tell them what you're thankful for, what you want, blah blah blah. But it doesn't take that much explanation. The last square container here, in the other corner, that's more or less uh, my burning, wherever I put like my sigils or anything. When I'm done with them and I burn them, that's my fireproof dish. That's basically just a really big um, pillar candle holder that, again, Walmart, $10, $15, I think, and it suffices, for my cauldron or anything that I need to burn in really quick. And then the wolf here on the back, that's really an incense burner. Again, just bought it at the store. I think it's, again, $10, $12. It's meant for like the cone incense. There's like a little cap you pull off on the bottom, and you stick the cone incense in there. I don't use it for burning incense. That's just my current symbol or dedication to Lucifer at this point. I had done like I had looked around for a lot of information on what animal types are generally associated with Lucifer, and then I belong to. I didn't find a whole lot. There was one site, and I thought it was kind of okay. It had a little bit of information on there, but they had mentioned something like the wolf, and obviously the dragon is also associated with Lucifer. And then somebody had said peacocks, and I can understand a peacock because peacocks they just seem very narcissistic. They're very about themselves. They're always pruning themselves, and they have to look good, and they're taking pride in their appearance. And as we know, Lucifer has a great sense of pride, and that was the one thing that God didn't like about him, was that he was very prideful. And so I can understand peacocks, and I thought, well, that's great, but I can't find a peacock statue. But then somebody had mentioned, hey, it's really whatever you want. Lucifer is in everything, and however you want to embody him. It's going to be like whatever you choose. So I thought, okay, the wolf is a great symbol that I was going to put up there for the time being. I'll probably get an actual statue at some point if I can find one. And I know that there's a couple like on Amazon and a couple other places. By all means, if you have any suggestions on where I can find nice statues like that, a statue of Lucifer or Lilith or anything like that, by all means, give me a heads up. Hit me down in the comment section below. Let me know. I'll happily look into it. I do know that there are a couple of nice statues on Amazon, and I do have them like on my shopping list. I'd like to be able to get at some point. But right now, this is everything at this point. Down here, you'll probably see like my little tablet playing. Anytime that I do my daily meditation and to Lucifer, I try to play a little bit of music. And this music that is particularly playing right now is off of YouTube. You can look it up. You can look it up online. I just searched for NASA sounds for the different planets. This one in particular is for Venus. It's playing the electromagnetic sounds heard from the planet Venus. Venus again is associated with Lucifer. So I kind of play that in the background, and you'll find that if you do search that, you do have different durations on YouTube. There's like a 1 hour, 8 hour, and a 12-hour version. Um, Again, it just plays the EM sounds that NASA has recorded coming from the planet. And as we know, all the planets, they have their own different sounds, their own different frequencies. That's basically what I'm playing here in the background. It kind of helps you set the mood, for the what I'm doing in here, and so that's going right there. That's going on right there. I really don't know what else I could probably mention at this time. The calendar on the wall there, that kind of helps me to focus my rituals that I do on a day-to-day or weekly basis or whatever. There was a time when I was doing chaos magic that there were days that I was doing 2 rituals, 3 rituals a day, and sometimes those rituals would take place over the course of several days, 3 days or 7 days or anything like that. So I had to be able to map out like all my rituals that I was doing, and that would kind of help me focus on everything that I was doing like on a day-to-day basis. So again, that helps me out to keep track of the rituals that I have planned, upcoming rituals that I have planned and stuff like that. If something like that, works for you, by all means, go ahead and use the idea. That's why I keep it here in my temple area, and it helps me stay focused on that. So a little bit more, if I could, excuse me, think here. This is the first 1-bedroom apartment that I've actually rented in like forever. When I started renting apartments, a lot of my apartments that I had were just little efficiencies and studios, barely, 400 square feet in most cases. So room was tight, and I really had to work with the space that I had. And that can be actually very difficult for a lot of people, especially if you live in a big city and your unit is small. You're renting an efficiency or a studio, and your place is so small, and you'll feel small and cramped. It's like, where am I going to put stuff? And you're worried about how do I get to hide, how am I going to hide this from, the maintenance people when they come in, for whatever reason. And, I've been there, folks, and it's, sometimes it's not easy. And, you can't have something like this, dedicated, set up on a, regular day-to-day basis in some cases. So, when I definitely rented this apartment, and that was the first thing that came to my mind when I was looking at this apartment to rent, was like, wow, I have this extra space, what am I going to do? And then I thought, well, this is going to be like my temple area. This is where I'm going to practice in, on a day-to-day basis. And I know there are some people that practice out of, walk-in closets and, different things like that. But this, was my intention when I rented this place. It's like, bam, this is my temple area. That's it. And that was even before I rented it. I knew that this was going to be my temple area. So. Regarding altars, again, if you're in a tight situation, you don't have a lot of space. I know some people can't keep an altar set up, regularly. When I lived in North Carolina, I had a place that was barely like 420 square feet, and the way that I solved that was um, I had like a little microwave cart that I bought for like $20 at the store. It had wheels on the cart, and I was able to push it up, across the floor and whatnot. And that was my altar for the time, when I was there. That way I could pull it off to the side, and I could, put it up against the wall when it wasn't in use. And then, when I was doing the ritual, I would just pull it out, stick it in the middle, in the middle of the floor, do what I had to do, cast my circle, whatever. And then once everything was done, put everything away. That was the nice thing about the microwave cart was it had doors on the bottom, so anything that I had to be able to put away, I could just open up the door, put the candles in there, my incense, whatever, and close the doors, put it off to the side, and nobody was to the wiser what I was doing. So um, that's an option for you, if you haven't thought of it. And thankfully, I haven't really had any issues with the maintenance people coming in. I haven't heard of them, say anything. The apartment manager hasn't said anything, as far as I know. I've lived here almost 2 years, and I've basically had this the entire time. And as far as I know, he really doesn't care. As long as I'm not dangerous and I haven't hurt anybody, obviously I haven't been doing like human sacrifices or animal sacrifices in here. No screams are coming from my apartment, so it's just me doing my thing, and it's not a big deal at all. So with that, folks, I think we're just going to go ahead and kind of call it at this point. I am going to try to do a couple more videos here today. I'll get a book review up today, definitely. Probably on the book Lucifer and the Hidden Demons. I know that was that was like on the list there. A couple people wanted me to do a review on that, and I have been reviewing that book, and I've worked with it a bit up to this point. I think now is a good time to get my experiences out there with the book and share that. So I'll probably end up getting that out here later today. And with that, we're just going to go ahead and call it. And that's a little bit more about me, folks. My temple area here. If you have any questions regarding that, by all means, hit me up below. Leave a comment. Let me know how things are going. And let me know how things are going with you. If there's anything I can do to help answer your questions or anything like that, let me know. I did mention about a little group that I earlier that I belong to, Children of the Serpent. I did mention that in like one or two of my earlier videos when I first started this channel, and I talked a little bit earlier in this video about where I was. People had said this is representation of Lucifer, associated with animals and whatnot. Again, the group is called Children of the Serpent. You can find it on Facebook, and it is run by a young lady, Tila Petrova, and I've spoke with her a couple times. She's very nice lady, and she does do tarot readings and a number of other things as well. And she's a practicing Satanist herself. You might want to go ahead and look up the group to see if it's something that you might want to be a part of. And you never know, it might work out for you. And Oh, and something really quick regarding my altar here. If you obviously I have this shelf down here. That was one of my intentions when I put this together. Was I always like to have some like an additional shelf or something that I can put things on out of the way if they don't need to be up on the altar top. When I'm doing work. That way I could put anything down there. I could, have a glass of water or something like that. If I'm doing a very lengthy ritual, anything related to the ritual that I need to have, again, out of the way until I need it. That was my main thought, when I put this together was, I always like to have a little shelf there, so that kind of helps me out. I hope that helps you out as well in this video, and again, it gives you any ideas, then, that's great. That's kind of what I'm here for. I'm here to help share my experiences and my thoughts and ideas, and if that helps you be a better practitioner and, get to where you're going, then, I'm happy that I helped you out. So with that, folks, I'm just going to go ahead and call it. And you folks have a great day on this Saturday. And enjoy, and infernal blessings. Bye.